Here's a look at 20 times when celebs shut down rude interviewers who crossed the line.
Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism on
Stop talking about it.
How much weight have you lost to get into this shape right now?
You did not just ask me that
No, I'm just
question.
saying, you're like...
What a forward
Whoa.
young man you are. My goodness.
First up, at number 20, when Mariah Carey confronted Ellen's intrusion.
You're gonna slip little tiny high-heel shoes
What do you mean?
on that baby.
What are you trying to insinuate?
That's what I was...
I don't wear those kinds of things.
Look,
Mariah Carey has been a household name for decades, but one moment on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2008 left fans and critics shocked. Ellen pressed Mariah on rumors about her pregnancy, a deeply personal topic. To force an answer, Ellen handed her a glass of champagne, pushing her to confirm or deny the speculation. Mariah hesitated, clearly uncomfortable, and took a small sip to deflect the question. What most people didn't know was that Mariah was indeed pregnant, but tragically suffered a miscarriage soon after. This moment serves as a reminder that even celebrities have boundaries, and invasive questions can have real emotional consequences. But if you thought this was awkward, just wait until you hear about what happened next. At number 19, when Tom Hardy shut down a bold question.
Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about?
Tom Hardy is known for his no-nonsense attitude, and he made that clear during a press conference for his film Legend at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2015. A reporter brought up his character's sexuality in the movie and followed it with a personal question. Tom paused for a moment before calmly giving it back. Let's just say that the reporter nearly forgot where and whom he is asking this to, and it is an utterly inappropriate question to ask a celebrity in front of everyone. It was a masterclass in setting boundaries, firm, polite, and leaving no room for further prying. Still, this next moment proves you can shut down an awkward question with a little more intensity. At number 18, Samuel L. Jackson flips the script.
Surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie, and
no, nobody, none. The word would be...
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it!
Samuel L. Jackson isn't one to shy away from confrontation, and during an interview, he showed exactly why. When a reporter tried to bring up a controversial topic, Samuel didn't take the bait. Instead, he turned the question back on the journalist with his trademark intensity, forcing them to rethink their approach. It wasn't just about dodging a heated exchange, it was about setting the tone and reminding everyone in the room who was in charge. Samuel's ability to stand his ground without losing his cool was a powerful statement about respect in interviews. Speaking of power moves, this next moment is a teachable one. At number 17, Denzel Washington advocates for real connection.
Have race relations improved?
You know, race relationships have to do with race relationships.
Denzel Washington isn't just a celebrated actor, he's a man of deep principles. During a press interaction, he was asked about his thoughts on race relations in America. Instead of offering a rehearsed response, Denzel spoke from the heart. "You can't legislate love," he said, emphasizing that genuine understanding and change come from individuals making an effort to connect with one another. For Denzel, it's about personal responsibility, not just systemic change. This moment wasn't just an interview, it was a powerful reminder of the importance of empathy and real human connection. But if that inspired you, wait until you hear about this bold stance. At number 16, Morgan Freeman rejects Black History Month.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
Morgan Freeman has never been afraid to speak his mind, and his interview on 60 Minutes was no exception. When asked about Black History Month, Morgan stated that he doesn't believe in it, explaining that Black history is American history and should be recognized as such year-round. His perspective sparked debate, but his point was clear. Segregating Black history into one month diminishes its importance as an integral part of the broader narrative. For Morgan, the goal is inclusivity. not division. The interviewer seemed caught off guard by Morgan's stance, but it resonated with many viewers. It wasn't just about rejecting a concept, it was about challenging everyone to think differently. And on that note, let's move on to our next moment that left everyone stunned. At number 15, Bill Burr pushes back on complaining in the industry.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course.
Some people have a hard time saying yes, though. There are a lot of angry young men on the internet that are like, women can't be fun.
Bill Burr's razor-sharp wit has made him a fan favorite, and during one unforgettable interview, he called out creatives who complain about the lack of opportunities in entertainment. True to his no-nonsense style, Burr flipped the narrative, urging people to stop waiting and start creating their own platforms. "If you don't like how it's done, do it yourself," he stated boldly, reminding everyone that the power to succeed is often within. His message of self-empowerment struck a chord, not just with aspiring artists, but with anyone who's ever felt stuck. It was a mic-drop moment that inspired action over complaints, a lesson that applies far beyond show business. But if you thought Bill was blunt, wait until you hear how this next legend defended their work. At number 14, Quentin Tarantino defends his art.
Why the need for so much gruesome, graphic violence? Why not let us imagine
Because it's so much fun, Jan. Get it?
Quentin Tarantino is no stranger to controversy, especially when it comes to the violence in his films. In one memorable interview, he was pressed on whether his movies promote real-life violence. But Quentin wasn't having it. He went on to explain that cinematic violence serves a purpose in storytelling and isn't responsible for real-world issues, which are far more complex. Quentin's unapologetic defense sparked a larger conversation about creative freedom versus social responsibility. While opinions may differ, his conviction and confidence were unmistakable. And speaking of conviction, this next story highlights two public figures who stood their ground, no matter the criticism. At number 13, Lil Wayne and Sean Strickland address controversial questions.
Never dealt with racism, and I'm glad I didn't have to.
Lil Wayne made headlines when he declared in an interview that he had never experienced racism. The statement drew mixed reactions, with critics arguing it overlooked larger systemic issues. But for Wayne, it was a reflection of his personal experience, and he stood by it despite the backlash. Similarly, MMA fighter Sean Strickland clashed with a reporter who brought up politically charged topics in sports. Strickland, clearly frustrated, made it clear that he doesn't believe athletes should be forced into conversations unrelated to their craft. Both Wayne and Strickland highlighted the tension between individuality and public expectations. Whether seen as refreshing honesty or missed opportunities for advocacy, their responses made one thing clear: they weren't going to conform to societal pressures. Next, we shift gears to a powerful moment when an actress took a stand against shallow questions. At number 12, Anne Hathaway stands up against appearance obsession. Anne Hathaway is a class act, but even she's had to endure Hollywood's relentless focus on appearance. During a press tour, Anne was repeatedly asked about her physique for a role, a line of questioning that completely overshadowed the project she was promoting. Anne, visibly annoyed but ever graceful, made it clear that the obsession with appearance was inappropriate and outdated. Her calm but firm stance wasn't just a defense of herself. It was a call for more respectful conversations about the work, not the aesthetics. This moment shed light on the challenges actresses face in a world that often prioritizes looks over talent, sparking an important dialogue about respect in entertainment journalism. But if Anne's grace left an impression, wait until you see how this next star navigated an even trickier situation. At number 11, Kurt Russell navigates a media trap. Kurt Russell is as iconic as they come, and his thoughtful nature shines through in interviews. During one, he was asked a loaded question about gun control, a topic known to divide opinions. Instead of taking the bait, Kurt responded with calm and clarity, emphasizing individual responsibility while acknowledging the complexities of the issue. He managed to share his perspective without being boxed into a one-dimensional narrative, showing just how skillfully he could handle polarizing topics. Kurt's approach wasn't just impressive, it was a reminder that nuanced conversations are possible, even in the media spotlight. And now, as we move on to the next story, get ready for yet another powerful moment that left everyone talking. At number 10, Tim Allen on political correctness in comedy. Tim Allen has never been one to avoid tough conversations, and during one memorable interview, he took on the growing constraints of political correctness in comedy. For Allen, comedy's power lies in its ability to challenge and provoke, not in bending to societal expectations. Comedy is meant to challenge, to provoke thought, he said, emphasizing that the focus should remain on the artist's intent, not the audience's interpretation. Allen's comments sparked a larger conversation about how comedians balance creativity with cultural sensitivity while preserving the essence of their craft. From political correctness to cancel culture, this next story takes a deeper dive into freedom of speech. At number 9, Kanye West on cancel culture and freedom of speech. Kanye West is no stranger to controversy, but instead of bowing to cancel culture, he confronted it head-on. In an unapologetic statement, he declared, "Say what you mean what you say," standing firm in his belief that freedom of speech should never be compromised for fear of public backlash. West's defiance ignited both debate and admiration as he refused to let external pressures dictate his authenticity. His bold stance highlights the tension between individuality and societal norms, making this a defining moment in the ongoing battle over cancel culture. And speaking of standing firm, our next entry is all about staying poised under pressure. At number 8, Dakota Johnson shuts down Ellen DeGeneres over birthday feud. This viral moment became internet gold. During an interview, Ellen DeGeneres joked that Dakota Johnson hadn't invited her to her 30th birthday party. Dakota's response was calm, yet firm. She doubled down, calling for witnesses and insisting she had sent an invitation. The tense exchange ended with Ellen admitting she had been out of town, leaving Dakota's poise and quick wit praised across social media. Fans celebrated her ability to hold her ground, even in front of one of TV's most famous hosts. Next, we turn to a fiery chef who never backs down from his beliefs. At number 7, Gordon Ramsay schools a journalist on steak preferences. Gordon Ramsay is known for his passion and precision, and when a journalist questioned his opinion on well-done steak, Ramsay didn't hold back. Explaining that overcooking a steak destroys its flavor, he confidently defended his culinary standards. Ramsay's fiery response was as much about preserving tradition as it was about his unwavering belief in quality. The moment highlighted the clash between personal preferences and professional expertise, proving once again that Ramsay never compromises his craft. And now, onto a red carpet moment that left everyone scratching their heads. At number 6, Jim Carrey challenges celebrity and existence. Jim Carrey is known for his unpredictable interviews, but his red carpet appearance at New York Fashion Week was on another level. When asked about celebrating icons, Carrey launched into a philosophical rant, questioning the very idea of celebrity and existence. The bewildered interviewer tried to bring him back on track, but failed. Though chaotic, Carrey's remarks carried a deeper critique of fame and materialism, leaving audiences entertained, confused, and maybe even a little enlightened, and that's just the start of more unforgettable moments to come. At number 5, Megan Fox recalls being sexualized at 15 and laughed at for speaking out. In a candid interview with The Washington Post, Megan Fox opened up about her early experiences in Hollywood, reflecting on the dismissive attitudes she faced when speaking out about being sexualized at just 15 years old. Fox recalled a 2009 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, where her account of the industry's inappropriate behavior was met with laughter. "It was just very dark," she admitted, highlighting the pervasive misogyny of the time. One specific memory was from Bad Boys 2, where she was dressed in a stars and stripes bikini and 6-inch heels for a bar scene, but wasn't allowed to sit or hold a drink due to her age. Looking back, Fox described it as a microcosm of my whole interaction with Hollywood. Her story sheds light on the long overdue conversations about the exploitation of young women in the entertainment industry. From exploitation to personal boundaries, our next moment dives into one actor standing up for his privacy. At number 4, Robert Downey Jr. walks out of an interview after being pushed too far. In 2015, Robert Downey Jr. made headlines when he abruptly left an interview with Channel 4 journalist Krishnan Guru Murthy. During what was supposed to be a press tour for Avengers: Age of Ultron, Guru Murthy shifted the conversation to Downey's past struggles with addiction. Visibly uncomfortable, Downey was at a loss for words. Later, in an interview with Howard Stern, Downey defended his actions, calling the journalist a syphilitic parasite. This moment sparked discussions about the media's responsibility to respect boundaries, especially when delving into deeply personal topics. Speaking of boundaries, our next moment is all about turning past negativity into a poised response. At number 3, Michael B. Jordan's classy comeback to childhood teasing. During the Creed 3 premiere in 2023, Michael B. Jordan was interviewed by radio host Laurel, who had previously admitted to teasing him in school. When Laurel referenced their shared history, Jordan smiled knowingly and replied. His composed yet pointed response quickly went viral, earning him praise for handling the moment with grace. Jordan later reflected on the experience, offering advice to those facing criticism. Now let's rewind to one of the most heated interviews in pop culture history. At number 2, Tom Cruise and Matt Lauer's intense exchange on Today. In 2005, Tom Cruise sat down with Matt Lauer on Today, and what started as a standard interview quickly turned into a fiery debate. The conversation took a controversial turn when Cruise criticized psychiatry and the use of antidepressants, dismissing them as dangerous. Lauer attempted to push back, calling Cruise's comments irresponsible, but Cruise doubled down, leading to one of the most awkward moments in television history. Years later, Lauer reflected on the infamous exchange, calling it his most uncomfortable interview ever. The clip remains a pop culture touchstone, symbolizing the collision of celebrity beliefs and public scrutiny. And finally, here comes an interview that has sparked a wave of empathy in recent years. At number 1, Lindsay Lohan's invasive interview with David Letterman. A 2013 interview between Lindsay Lohan and David Letterman resurfaced recently, drawing widespread criticism for its uncomfortable tone. While Lohan appeared on The Late Show to promote her film, Letterman blindsided her with a series of probing questions about her rehab and struggles with addiction. Visibly uneasy, Lohan tried to deflect, saying, "You can't make a joke of it, that's so mean." Despite her clear discomfort, Letterman continued pressing, leaving audiences shocked by his insensitivity. Social media users have since rallied behind Lohan, condemning the interview for its stigmatizing and misogynistic undertones, and praising her resilience in the face of public judgment. And that's all we got for today. If these stories left you reflecting on Hollywood's dynamics, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening moments. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest in entertainment and celebrity news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.